How are you feeling?
Yeah. I'm feeling that this is quite important. This is really important, doing this, filming this, because this is all about the start of my journey and how my life has been divided pretty much into two parts. And so the enormity of it kind of hit me last night when I was printing some images out and having a look at the shoot where this all began. And I found it quite overwhelming, actually, because the woman who I'm going to talk about, or the pictures we're going to talk about, I owe her everything.
How did this all come about? How did this start?
So this all started in 2018, April the 18th, 2018. I had just finished a year-long bout of talking therapy after being in talking therapy in and out for 25 years, not really getting anywhere. And I'd finished another bout of it and I was absolutely exhausted. I was so tired of talking, but I wanted to continue the digging that I was doing, because what I'd done is I'd understood through the last lot of therapy, I'd understood my why. I understood why I was depressed, but I still couldn't stop myself from being depressed. You know, awareness is everything, but I was still caught up in the darkness and this lack of worth and the I'm shit and everything I do is rubbish and all those kinds of things. I just couldn't get out of that hole. It was like I was scraping the sides of a slippery ditch and I couldn't get out. There was nothing to hold on to. And I decided that I wanted to continue doing some work, but do it in a creative way and to stop talking, basically, because I was so bored of talking and not really feeling like I was getting too far. And so it was almost a bit like a self-challenge, I suppose. I decided that I wanted to look myself in the eye. I wanted to see if it was as bad as it felt. So I decided to sit with my most difficult emotions and photograph what was there. And I'd had this idea in my head for an image that I wanted to capture. And it was me with barbed wire wrapped around my head, feeling trapped, feeling imprisoned, feeling just so tangled and caught in my depression for so long. I mean, as far back as I can remember, really. And so I did the shoot. It was really, it wasn't easy, but I sat, I cried, I screamed, I shouted, I was still. It was really cathartic in that sense. And then I kind of packed it all up and downloaded my images, and I hadn't even thought about what I was going to see. And what I saw really, really surprised me, because I didn't see a woman that I didn't like. I didn't think she was ugly. I saw a woman who was in agony, and the only person that could help her was me. It was like she was asking me. And it was so profound and so transformative, just those few initial minutes when I was looking at the beginning of my gallery. And it absolutely changed everything. Those vital inches between my head and the screen and what I was looking at gave me just enough objectivity to grant myself compassion for the first time in my life. And what I didn't realise was that I was doing therapeutic photography on myself. I was using the images in a deeply and profoundly therapeutic way. And it was really quite unbelievable. And every day I would wake up thinking, maybe I'll wake up today and feel shit again. And I never have done.
What do those images, the first ones, mean to you now?
So I use them every day. I use them when I feel that I'm slipping a bit, or I'm struggling, or I just need some assurance of who I am. I need some confidence. And those images were such a pivotal moment because they help me make sense of my past up until that point, who I was in that present moment, and then who I am moving forward. So my images give me choice. They go, look, this is who you are. You can't deny who you are. What's your choice now? I had a client do a Facebook post recently. It's about 5 years since her face-to-face shoot, and I didn't know she was going to do it. She posted one of her images with some text that basically said, I can't believe how much I've done since this shoot, and I can put it back. I can pinpoint the moment that my life changed, and it was during her shoot. The longer I do this work is the more I'm learning about how and why it works, and I'm constantly amazed at how and why it works. There was some research done a while ago where people were shown pictures of people they knew for varying degrees of time, and even for a very short space of time, a fraction of a second, there were neuro things firing. That's the technical way. Neuro things were going on.
The neural pathways were lighting up.
The neural pathways were lighting up, which indicated recognition, even from a very short space of time. So what that opened up for me was this really exciting potential about the work that I do, particularly in portraiture. When you see an image of yourself, even just once, even very, very briefly, your brain has registered it and you will be processing it at some level. That's where real change is for me. It's that visceral, extraordinary connection to your own image. I mean, it's just amazing. When you see you can't unsee what you've seen in yourself. And when you see yourself in that way, every image of you then becomes something different. You've granted yourself compassion. I help my clients reframe how they see themselves. If there's an image that they find difficult looking at, then we talk about that, and we dig into who is in the image, who is there, what is she saying to you, what does she want to say to you, what's her gift, what would you say about her if you didn't know her. All these questions I ask my clients, and it helps them just see themselves from another perspective, and they are amazed at who is there. And all I'm doing is showing them. I'm not creating who they're not. I'm helping them to take off all the hats that they put on, that society makes them put on, and help them see themselves for who they are, because they're incredible. There's so much emotion in photography that we can sit with, emotion from our past that we make sense of in the present, and that can help inform our future. So using photography to reflect back what's going on for us, suddenly you have these kind of eureka moments, like, oh my God, I'm feeling that. I didn't even realise, because we can push down, we can ignore, we can dissociate, we can just avoid how we're feeling. And that's fine, and that's really helpful in a lot of instances. But if we're continually doing that, then we're missing something that our body's trying to tell us. To do this work, it's my life's work, it's my purpose, it's why I'm here. It's profoundly moving for me in every shoot I do, every conversation I have, every gallery viewing I do, just affirms that I'm exactly where I'm meant to be. And I just go goosebumps like I just have done now. It's just wonderful.